women to holding the majority of jobs in the United States.
Wow.
For the first time ever.
Okay.
Men who lost their jobs were employed in fields like construction and finance.
Sure.
Whereas the women have been slightly steadier fields like teaching and healthcare.
Okay.
Fields where they were always a demand for workers. But if the husband's unemployed, women would now take on the role of the breadwinner.
Right.
That's the head hockey.
Okay. Stop right there. So what is that? Just what you read there. What has happened? There's a shift happened through
It happened
in the early 2000s, and then we're gonna go back. We're gonna go back and do some history in a minute. So what is in our society lately after all of the big banking scam that went on when Obama first came into office with the bailouts? A lot of men lost their jobs, and the women had to take over and do that. So what happened was is that when they took over the jobs, they didn't go back to the house. They didn't go back.
Yeah.
So now they took over the man's role. So now the gender roles have shifted. So now the man said, well, and then the woman will throw it in his face, or may say, well, I'm doing this, you should do this, you should. And then now she's becoming a man, and now the man is becoming a woman. Really? That's what's happening. That's what's happening. All right.
Gender differences.
No, we don't want to go there. I want you to read this part right here. Second paragraph, right here. Where you at, brother? Right there. This is what I want you to read right there, because we talked about this.
Women in the U.S. got one of their first tastes of the working world during World War II. The men went to war and the women went to the factories and offices.
That's right.
Though the women returned to their homes after the war, they didn't remain there for long.
That's right.
The social change in the 1960s, 70s
That's right.
caused a cultural revolution that found many women pursuing careers outside the home.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
I remember that well.
That's because you OG.
That's all right, brother.
In recent years, more men have expressed a desire to take on the role of primary caregiver to the children.
Uh-huh.
Keep going.
Where are you at, brother? Oh, okay, I'm sorry, brother. You good. So basically what we're trying to tell you is basically that what culture created during the wartime, men went off to war, women had to stay, but they needed help in the factories to send equipment and stuff overseas. So the women filled in, but when they came back home, they didn't return to home like they should have returned to home. They still wanted to work and do all those things, which is fine, but when you start taking over jobs that men have, from men, taking away from what men supposed to be doing, protecting, providing, and leading you, then you're going to destroy your relationship. He's not going to be bothered with you. So that's why you say, men say, well, I don't want to be bothered with her. You know what I'm saying? She want to do this, and that's the worst thing you can do, man. I experienced it, brother Josh. When a woman pushes a man into a corner, when it comes to taking care of the household and she wants to rule everything,
We're coming out swinging.
no, not well. Either that or he's gonna walk away from that relationship. He ain't gonna be bothered no more, and because his pride, he's not doing what God has instilled in him to do. And when you
That's
take
because the women took the role.
yeah, took the role. Exactly right. All right, let's go down here, brother, to gender differences.
He made them male and female.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Gender differences, he made them male and female.
Yes.
It's easy to note that every single marriage has its challenges.
Yes, it does. Yes, sir. I've been down that
Tyrone
road.
know that.
Oh my God, let's not go down that road.
Yeah, this is a road we don't want to go down.
No, we don't. All right, let's not go there. I'll get hot again.
I know, right?
Going down that road.
Some of our marriages are especially challenging when the husband or wife, or both,
Yes.
are prejudiced against the opposite gender.
Yes.
These prejudices also often reveal themselves in inappropriate humor that degrades the opposite gender,
Yes.
and overgeneralization about all men or all women,
All right.
and in the bathroom where the differences can be easily misunderstood.
Wait, we at that point now about the bathroom situation. See that? All right.
While the difference between men and women are real and unsubstantial,
Yes.
and believe that to be the source of many marital conflicts.
Yes.
The larger issues are failure to understand God's design for the family.
There it is. There it is. And where does that start at, brother Josh? With who?
The man.
There we go. Because he has to communicate what God's plan is, not only for the man, not only for the woman, but for the family as a whole. There it is, brother Josh.
God created various parts of creation by simply stating, "Let there be."
That's right.
When he created humanity, he fashioned a man and named him Adam. Up until this act of creation, everything had everything had received God's, it is good blessing.
That's right. That's
But
right.
when Adam, God indicated that it wasn't good for man to be alone.
That's right.
There was a profound need for a helper that was different. Christian financial officer Larry Burkett used to say if both spouses were the same, one would be unnecessary.
Yes.
Whether it's balancing the budget, wallpaper in the bathroom, or making new friends,
Yes.
our different traits can meld into a life-conquering team
Yes.
if we have the grace to cooperate with His plan.
That's right. Read those italics and then we'll roll on, brother.
Sadly, in a fallen world, we have taken the differences between male and female and exploited them with our lust and rage.
What do we mean by lust and rage? Lust? What's lust?
But we have to have her.
Okay.
It's something that you really, really want.
That's right. Exactly right. And rage is what?
When you get really mad.
Yeah, we get mad. And then we want to destroy things or just to get our way. Exactly.
Sexual abuse, domestic abuse, incest, misogyny.
Misogyny.
What's that?
That's another. I'll tell you after you get off.
History,
Yes.
culture,
Uh-huh.
and media have all worked against us in powerful ways.
Yes. Yes.
As Christian men and women, when we look to our own histories,
Mm-hmm.
culture, and personal experience, we must agree that we remain affected by the fall, the
Yes.
original sin,
Yes.
by sins of abuse and neglect created by other people,
Okay.
and by our own moral failures. Wherever we have been injured by sin in a way that exploits our gender or highlights the gender of those who have sinned against us,
Okay.
our understanding of what it means to be male and female is challenged.
That's right. Absolutely right. All right, Brother Josh. I think we have set a very, very good foundation for gender roles, so we can move on. We're gonna run through these the traditional role of man, and then we're gonna look at, we're gonna break each one down, and then the traditional role of women, and that's gonna be it. And it's really, we just really have to, all we're gonna do with these is basically just call these things down and just go through it briefly, and then we'll be done because
Are we right here?
Yes, sir. That's correct. Yes, sir. Wait, are we right here, John? No, I'm sorry. Traditional man. Traditional
that's
role.
what I thought.
I'm sorry. Yo, my fault.
Man, as his created role in life, was given a natural desire to be preeminent with the family unit.
Yes.
To be responsible in this position of leadership of his family, man must be held accountable to the duties pursuant to his capacity or office.
All right. So it breaks down. Man, you gotta listen what Josh is saying. You're going to be held responsible for your action when it comes to what God's natural abilities that He's given you. All right? He's going to hold you responsible. You can't blame nobody else. So if you don't fulfill those things that God's placing within you, you're going to be held responsible for it. And you're going to suffer for it. Because you're not doing what He offered you, what He asked you to do. All right? Just like a parent with a child. If a child will do something a parent will do, what's going to happen? You're going to whoop that butt.
We ain't gonna go down that road.
All right.
There are, I feel, 4 basic areas of responsibility man must take on in a marriage relationship. These responsibilities were given to him by moral and spiritual right.
Okay.
These areas we are speaking of are as follows: guide, protect, provider.
And the last one will be lead by example. All right? Lead by example.
The husband as an example.
That's right.
Man, as being head of the family unit, must establish by exemplification
That's right.
the ways of God. I ain't got no room for than that.
So, men, you have to lead by example. That's where it all starts from. If you don't know who you are and what your role is, then you lost already. So don't even try to help somebody else. You're not going to be able to do it because you don't know how to lead. A lot of men know how to follow, but they don't know how to lead. All right.
The husband in his role as guide.
Guide. Okay. And what guide means? What will be the what's another word for guide? Lead.
Oh, leader.
The leader. That's right. We ain't got to go no further than that. You got to be the leader. You got to show. You got to give direction.
The man as the protector.
Oh my God.
The man has to be the protector.
And what areas do you need to protect?
The family,
Mhm.
the wife, and
That's
the
true.
kids.
That's true. Absolutely, Jerry. That's right.
The Christian husband as the provider.
Ah. So what is that there? What does that mean?
He a man that don't work don't eat. So he worked.
Yes.
He worked. He did the best he can to provide for his family. Because a man that don't provide for his family is worse than an infidel.
Well, it's an infidel. That's exactly right, Brother Josh. Absolutely.
Leadership in the home.
Oh.
Is that what you want?
Yes, sir. That's correct.
Leadership in the home, a godly man leads.
He leads.
I ain't got enough further than that.
He leads. So what does lead mean? Leads mean giving a vision, giving direction, all right? Giving them a plan. That's what lead means. Sometimes in life, well, I always tell Brother Josh this a lot. I always say it all the time. You got to stand on your principles, even if you're staying alone. That's leading. You're leading by example. Even though and see what it is, when you start going against the status quo, that's when the problem happens, and people they're gonna come up against you. But you got to be willing to weather that storm and continue to move forward, no matter if people are with you or not with you. Continue to march on, because eventually God's gonna send some people your way to help you.
Lead in leadership.
Lead in leadership.
Which we just talked about.
Yes, lead in leadership.
Lead in worship.
Woo! What does that mean to you when you said lead in worship? What does that mean?
Be spiritual.
Yes.
Lead them to the way that they shall go.
Okay. But also it can mean, how can I say this, Brother Josh? When it comes to worship, you have to have a heart of God.
You sure do.
To lead somebody in the ways of God. I couldn't have came into this organization when I started almost 7 years now. I could not do that unless I had the heart of God to do this organization. It just ain't gonna work. So if you got men out there, women, you got men that you know are trying to lead you in the spiritual ways, and he ain't been to church in 10,000 years, or never pick up a Bible, forget about it. Don't listen to him. That's right, Brother Josh. All right, what we got next there, brother?
Lead as a father.
Oh my God, now that's huge. Now you got a lot of follow. You got a lot of. How can I say this?
Don't go down the wrong road, Tyrone.
You got a lot of baby daddies out there,
You sure do.
but you sure ain't got no true fathers, and that's the sad. That's sad.
You got some, but not
Well, not a lot. Not a lot. All right.
Lead as a husband.
Lead as a husband by loving your wife as Christ has loved the church, giving her the things that she needs to be successful in the household. Give her what she needs. You know.
The woman's role in the plan of God.
Okay, the women's role. Now that's good. I want to touch on a few of these things, and then we're gonna close this thing out. Let's run through a few of these, Brother Josh.
Okay, here we go. At creation, I like that one. At creation, God caused a deep sleep to fall on Adam.
Okay.
And from him, God took a rib and made a woman.
Okay. So she came out of man. So basically, if she came out of man, see, when we look at the role of a woman, and you said she's supposed to be there to help him, but the nature of a woman is she's inside a man. So when she was inside a man, she had shelter, she had food, she had everything she needed inside a man. But once woman came out of man, she needed the same thing that she had on the inside as she does on the outside of man. So that's why the problem with a woman is, it comes with men, is that if her bills are not paid, if she don't have no food on the table for her kids, that she's gonna be one irritable woman. If you don't take care of her,
On her PMS.
oh my, don't do that, because she has been provided for when she was inside of Adam. Now that she's out, she need to be provided for the same way.
To women has been given one of the greatest privileges in the world.
All right.
That of molding and nurturing a living soul.
Yes, a baby. Yes.
Ooh, I like this one. A distinction between the sexes is taught throughout the Bible.
Yes.
Paul teaches if a man has long hair, it's a shame unto him. But if a woman has long hair, it is a glory to her.
Yes.
The women shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man. That's what you were talking about earlier.
Yep, that's right.
Neither shall a man put on a woman's garment.
Yep, there it is. So why we do it?
For all that do so are abomination unto the Lord thy God.
Earrings.
Their roles are not to be interchangeable.
Makeup.
Yep.
Come on, G.
Proverbs 31:10-31 tells in detail what kind of helpmeet the woman is to be.
Yes.
The supportive role of the wife to the husband is very evident in this description
Yes.
of the ideal woman.
Mm-hmm.
She will do him good and not evil.
That's right.
Because of her honesty, modesty, and chastity, her husband does safely trust in her. By her efficiency and diligence, she will look well to her household.
Yes.
The basis for her virtue is found in verse 30. A woman feareth the Lord. This is a reverential.
What is that now?
This is a reverential.
Yes, sir.
A reverential fear that gives meaning and purpose to her life. Only as the Lord lives in her heart
Yes.
can she be the woman she was meant to be.
That's right, brother. That's right. That's right. That's right. So basically what that's saying is God created a woman in a very special way. And men, you need to understand that. You need to learn how to appreciate that. All right, she's there to serve you, but you have to serve her as well. You know, we talked about this last night, Brother Josh, about we got to be a 50-50 thing. You remember we talked about that a little bit last night? If it's not that way, then we're going to have some issues. And I think what happens is when we come to these role differences, that we have let a society tell us what to do for so long. They put images on the television, they put images in the newspaper and whatever to make women think one way and men think the other way. We create our own problems, man.
We're our own worst enemy.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's do a few more of these and we're gonna close this out. Go to the.
I'm gonna read these italics.
All right.
The liberation movement has challenged God's blueprint for womanhood.
All right.
Women are clamoring for freedom and fulfillment by asking for total equality.
Yes.
This puts them into a power struggle, into a competitive role instead of a complementary partnership.
Yes. A partnership.
Their quest for freedom only leads them into bondage.
Yes.
Nevertheless, that the selfishness and ungodliness of many men is without excuse, because in this context, some of the women's frustration can be understood.
Yes.
Ironically, the very thing that many women are rejecting is God's way of establishing a woman in a life that fully satisfies.
Okay. All right. Go right here, brother. Right here in the middle, and then we're gonna close out.
Women's first duty is the making and keeping of her home.
That's right.
Many a modern woman chooses a career, hires a babysitter, and rushes her children through childhood so that she can be free to pursue her selfish interests.
You hear what it says, right? Selfish interest. All right.
The Bible teaches that women are to be keepers at home.
Yes.
This means a woman is to be there loving her husband, teaching and enjoying her children, and applying the homing make arts with her with joy in her heart.
Yes.
This mother is the heartbeat of the home. She helps lay the foundation of moral standards there.
Mm-hmm.
The warmth of her spirit quietly establishes security in the lives of little children and confidence that in spite of their problems and fears, all will be right. Why would any woman trade this noble place for some dollars earned or for some coveted position?
Yes.
This Bible way is just not being old-fashioned. It is God's order. I'll say that again. It is God's order.
Yes. God's order.
The women who wholeheartedly accept God's plan will be blessed. Praise be to God.
Praise be to God, brother. That is something powerful there. Wow. I hope that we could have got much deeper with this. But what I would like to say is that we need to stop allowing society to dictate who we are.
Yep.
Accept who you are and how God created you. Don't make an excuse to say, well, God created me this way, He created you a different way. That's your thinking. That's what you want to do. So don't put that on God, all right? Women, learn how to respect men and let them be men and let them serve you. Let them do what God gave, what God created them to do is to lead, protect, and provide. Now, I'm not saying that if the man is not doing his job, then kick him to the curb. I'm with you on that. But if he's an upright man, he's trying to do the right thing, he's out there working and providing for the family, doing it, be behind that man, stick by him. Don't give him an attitude, I don't need your money. No, it's all together as a partnership. It's our money together. It's no longer one, because the scripture says a man and a woman, man should leave his household, woman should leave her household. They are no longer two flesh, but they become one. And once you come that becomes a partnership. The same thing here in MSF. We are brothers in the Lord. We are brothers to the end because we have made that bond. And the same thing with gender roles. We need to know our position. Until we understand, knowing our position and what God creates for, we're going to have tremendous turmoil. We're going to continue to have killings in the street. And wherever we see it happening, it's because we are out of position as men and women. And then we call and say, well, we want a good man or we want a good woman. It don't exist anymore.
You ain't gonna find it.
You have to create it, just like the atmosphere. You have to create the atmosphere with this, which we call the what?
The burner.
The burner. That's
They're
right.
gonna burn you up.
That's right. Well, I hope that y'all have enjoyed the broadcast. This has been a powerful broadcast. Brother Josh done another great job. Like I said, we could have got deeper. But if you want to learn more, we got tons and tons of videos on there for you to look at that goes back and talk about certain things that we've been dealing with. And maybe next week we may deal with another issue dealing with this. I don't know. We don't see what God says. I may not know until tomorrow, or I haven't really been posting it until Monday round, right? Because I don't know. I just have to wait and see what he says. So until we get that, we'll get it out there. But I tell you what, I guarantee you it will be a power pack again.